friends. So, Baruch Hashem, that I'm able to speak to you like this tonight. I'm just going to wait for some people to show up over here. See what happens. We'll see what I'm able to do over here. Thank Hashem that I'm able to speak to you guys like this tonight, because something happened today on Facebook. Something interesting. And I already made a video about it. I posted it on YouTube, but I'll talk to you guys about it here. So, and hopefully, and I'm gonna try to talk kind of, let's put it this way, discreetly, because I don't want to get on the radars, because I'm already on the radars, but you know, whatever. So I was on my account today, and I tried to send via private message. I didn't try to post. I tried to send to some of my friends a test message with the URL, with the website named. I'm not going to name the website. It starts with a G, and it's a .org, right? It starts with a letter G. It's a .org. Don't worry, it's not anything inappropriate. It is a website that is basically run by people who are against the communist Chinese regime. And apparently, you are not allowed to, according to Facebook that is, you're not allowed to send that link to anybody. You can't post it, that's for sure. Not only can you not post it, you can't even send it. They treat that link as if it is something from like the dark web, or from, basically, you might as well be posting porn, you know? And so I tried to do this. One time it worked, another time I used HTTP, another time it didn't work. I tried to forwarding it to someone, definitely doesn't work. And then, a few minutes later, I got a message saying that my account has been disabled. I'm not going to say for how long. It's been disabled. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? It's one thing, and it says, you violated our terms of service a few times, blah, blah, blah. And I said, with this post, and then the thing is, I actually go and I check, to see what they're talking about. And then it shows you a little box, like a tiny little box, like a picture of, or a screenshot of what you did wrong, what your infraction was. And then it says for how long you're banned, whatever. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I didn't write anything to anybody. I didn't post, I didn't comment on anybody's wall. I didn't, bully anybody, harass anybody. All I did was I tried to send in private, what I thought was in private, a link to a anti-CCP website, an anti-communist Chinese Communist Party website. So now, my friends, this leads me to conclude, not to believe, not to speculate, not to theorize, but to just plain and simple conclude that the people who run Facebook are on the side of the Chinese Communist Party. So I will say that I'm a former Soviet citizen. I was 7 years old when my family left the Soviet Union. And I will just send this message to the people who run this platform, the people who run Twitter, and also the people who run YouTube. And I'm going to quote the late, great stand-up comedian. His name was Bernie Mac. He used to go out on stage. He did this first, if you guys ever watched Def Comedy Jam from the 90s. He used to look around the room, the audience. He used to say, "I ain't scared of you MFers." I'm not going to say the full word that he used. I'm going to just say, "I ain't scared of you MFers." So that's what I want to say to all of you big tech people. I'm a former Soviet citizen. My parents are former Soviet citizens. They are refuseniks. Mr. Sergey Brin, if you're listening, my parents are refuseniks. These are people who had KGB in their face. And they are telling you that everything you have been doing, not just the censoring, but on top of that, when there were hearings, election schmod hearings in Georgia, Michigan, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and a court case, a court hearing in Nevada that was shown on, these alternative news networks, mostly right-wing on YouTube. The mainstream media blacked them out. And when you ask the mainstream media, why'd you black them out? Well, they're so ridiculous it doesn't even deserve our time. These things were thrown out of court. No, my friends, when you block out hearings of thousands of affidavits and thousands of people, or hundreds of people, let's say, who actually were not afraid to come out, show their face, to actually testify what they saw, at the polling stations, and what they saw, people who vote, who work for these voting machine companies. When you black that out, and block it out, not just block it and black it out, it shows that you have something to hide. And this is something that was done by the Soviet regime. They blacked out anything that showed that they were, what they were doing. Not only that, they labeled everything as conspiracy theory. And this is something that my parents will tell you. This is something that the most Russian-speaking Jews who live in America, or Russian speakers who escaped the communist regime who live in America and other free countries, will tell you. And I'll tell you guys something. A message to you, if you're watching Facebook, execs, Twitter, YouTube. 90% of us, like the former Soviet citizens who now live in America, 90% of us voted for Trump. Not because we love authoritarianism, not because we don't hate democracy or don't know what democracy is. Don't talk down to us. Don't condescend to us, you pompous pricks. Pardon my language. You are pompous, condescending demagogues. We voted for him because he is the only thing, as flawed as he is, that stands in the way between us and the crap, what I'll call in Russian, Vanyuchi Savok, Soviet garbage that we left 31 years ago in our case. And some people left it 40 years ago, some people left it 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whenever they got a chance to get the hell out of that freaking Gehenna hell. Okay? And on top of that, we are not scared of you. 90% of us voted for Trump. 10% of us, as I like to say, so open-minded our heads fell out. Or we want to be cool, or our children went to Ivy League schools. We want to be cool, we want to be this, we want to be woke, we want to be hip, we want to be down with it, we don't want to be thought as archaic and old and this and that and blah, 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 blah. We're not scared of you. Big tech, we're not scared of you. Okay? Seryoja, Brin, Svoloch. You hear me? We're not scared of you. Any Russian speaker who works at Facebook, I'm not threatening you, I'm just telling you I'm not scared of you. Dork. Okay? Come at us. Just like the Savok, just like those KGB agents interrogated my parents for 2 hours at a time, both the local Lvov KGB agents and the, federal, what I like to call the federal, the ones from Moscow, and called us conspiracy theorists, and censored us, and this, and that, and lied to our faces, like the Obama administration did for 8 years, like your fucking media, pardon my French, did for 8 years. No, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. Sorry, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you think you're doing. Maybe some of you think you're doing good by stopping a person you think is a dictator. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know if you are thinking. I don't know if you have a brain to think. You know, as in Russian we say "ty balbes," or I'll use another word. I'm not going to use it. It starts with a D. Dalba something. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to happen. I'm sorry. We did not leave the Soviet Union to come to the Soviet Union. This is not going to happen. People who were dissidents, especially Jews, Soviet Jews, did not leave the Soviet Union to be in the freaking Savok. And for those of you enabling this stuff, I advise you not to. Because you know what? I'll tell you something. After they're done with us, they're going to come for you. You schmucks who work in Facebook offices and YouTube offices and Google, not just the Russian Jews, not just the Russian speakers, dissidents, former Soviet citizens, but everybody. All you people who value your freedom and your things and stuff, and your wonderful car and your wonderful house, they're coming after you, my friends. They're coming after you. Oh yeah, baby. Don't get it twisted. But on the same token, we ain't scared of you. We are not scared of you. I'm sorry. If you're hiding something, then it's a problem. If you're telling us, if you're gaslighting us, and you're telling us that we're crazy and we're conspiracy theorists and this and that and the other, it's a problem. Because we've seen this before. My parents have seen this before. And they're telling you. And if you don't want to listen to them, then swim in your own crap. Сиди в своем говне. Okay? I apologize for the language here, but it's the only way to get the point across at this point. Dudes, you guys don't understand. Okay? So, just a message. We're not scared of you. And that's it. So, you want to come at us? Come at us. Okay? Have a good one. Laila Tov.